Hi Manoj, welcome for this edition of Regal Live. It's a weekly live program on LinkedIn based on topics related directly or indirectly to coaching. And it's a pleasure to have you, one of the esteemed members of a community, as a guest today. For the benefit of viewers, Manoj is, for me, first an NLP expert, uh, a certified PCC coach, professional ICF certified coach, and also a published author. I mean, this is one of his signed copies. So I have a collection of books which are signed copies, and then I'm very glad that I have one of his two books. I don't have the other one. Uh, Today, what we're going to explore is NLP and its relevance to coaching. So, Manu, the first question. Now, I remember long back when during my corporate career, one of my close friends reading a book, NLP for Dummies. Okay, so my first question to you, Manoj, is what is NLP for us who are quote unquote dummies who know nothing about NLP? Few words on that. Okay.
Yeah. So there are various ways to explain it, but I would say that any change work requires the whole self to say yes to that. Say, for example, a lot of us, we think that the mind is the only aspect. We have to just make up our mind. If I want to give up smoking, I just have to make up my mind. Or if I want to give up diet, I just need to make up my mind. So actually, mind, they are referring to rational thinking, but behavior is impacted by body sensation, urges, emotional patterns, habits. So a collection of all this aspect, which is our entire personality. Like for example, a mobile has a personality and it comes from the software. iPhone's personality comes from the uh, iOS, and Android personality comes from the Android mobile operating system. Similarly, our operating system is not just our thoughts, it's our whole self. So in NLP, we consider body as subconscious mind, not just the mind. So the body sensation, the feelings, they are all very important. So when we want to talk, I think most of us understand the language of metaphor. We understand what
Yes.
a dream is, right? A dream that we go through is a expression of the subconscious mind.
Correct.
So neuro linguistic programming, NLP, is a holistic approach to change work. Sometimes it's rational thinking that we depend on. Sometimes it's a much more subtler aspects that we like, sensations and feelings and habit patterns. So it's a very holistic approach to change work. That's It's neuro linguistic programming. It's like
Yeah.
programming ourselves to change in a very holistic approach.
Hmm. So change management, holistic approach, and almost pretty much the full body
Yeah.
impact, right? I mean, that's what I'm picking up as the keywords. So, I just returned from a Panchakosha retreat from the Himalayas,
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah, so is NLP is also looking at all the, Annamaya Kosha to Anandamaya Kosha in a way? Just curious.
I'm not sure.
Sure. Yeah, something for us to explore.
And
Sure.
I don't know the meaning of those words. If
Sure.
you could unmake a question.
It talks about Annamaya is more about the physical body, all the food, physical and subtle food that we take. Manomaya is the mind, everything about the mind, and Pranamaya is the breath work.
Yeah.
So then it is at Vijnanamaya and also Anandamaya, the blissful state, subconscious. Yeah, something it just came to me, so I'm interested. So for a you are an expert, you conduct trainings on NLP. Any example where which demonstrates the holistic power of NLP that you can share?
Yeah. Uh, in fact, most of the habit patterns that people I see, habits is either you want to give up some negative habits,
Hmm.
or it's like junk food, etc., or some other habits. Could be drinking, could be Instagram reels, too much of it, or it would be like wanting to take some new habits, right? Wanting
Hmm.
to work on some new habits. So NLP has tools and techniques for that. It has a step-by-step process,
Mm,
and these processes, some of it is at the change at the conscious level, the way we think, etc. Some of
mm,
it is much deeper, right? For
mm,
example, if I want to give up snacking, and my mind
mm,
says give up, but my body says I want it. Somebody shows
mm,
me a red velvet cake. Rational mind
mm,
knows it has so many spoons of sugar, but my body has that urge. Then
mm,
we say it is incongruence. The change is not done. The change is
mm,
done when the body, mind, the whole self is in one direction, right? So how do you arrive at? So NLP has specific tools. You can say as a process. Step one, you do this. Step two, you do this. Step three, you do this. Step four, you do that. So it's a process of change work, and I have done a lot of habit change. Even for a person who is in a dilemma, there's a tool called Visual Squash. It has a step by step. So these are tools. Like for example, in visualization, we use various tools, and even in meditation, there are various tools available.
correct.
And so similarly for change work, if a person wants to change certain aspect of themselves, there are certain tools and techniques that makes it a little easier.
So NLP is generally seen as instant change. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't think, because most of the research says 44 days to 66 days is where the brain takes for the new
Correct.
neural connection to happen.
Yes.
But in terms of perspective, yes, it is possible that
Mm,
a person can change one's perspective in an instant. You think
mm,
something is good, and then later on you would have a different view. So
mm,
outlook can be changed in an instant, but changing like habit, etc. Yes, you can take a decision to change, and maybe for 3 days you can hold on, but a change we can know whether it's a real change after a certain period of time. So people
mm,
say 21 days. I feel it's a little more than that for the body to adjust and
mm.
to adapt to the new change. So roughly 44 days, I would say. It depends from person to person, but for some people I have worked even 3 6 months to bring them out of certain aspect. So
Mm.
change work takes time. And my own case, I used to be a short-tempered person, and
Mhm.
I used to have a lot of fight with my mom. It took a couple of years for me, because where close relationships are concerned, where there's a lot of pain and a lot of memory which are unpleasant, it takes even more time to heal that relationship and to change your behavior.
The
It does.
baggage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Baggage is there, so it takes some time.
Mhm. Sure. I mean, it's such a curious space. We can go on and on, but I want to bring in the element of coaching now. So, as a professional coach with my limited experience or exposure to other methodologies like counseling, therapy, healing, and also NLP, and I'm a certified healer. Uh, there's a lot of conception or misconception in the market that these two are cannot be complementary. I mean, there should be a Berlin Wall between some of these techniques like a therapy or NLP vis-a-vis coaching. So, two questions. What is your opinion as an NLP expert and as a practicing certified coach? And are there commonalities or are they just divergent to bring too divergent to bring together?
Yeah, I
What's
feel
your
they're
take on it?
yeah, I feel, Subhash, they are very complementary.
Hmm.
And say, for example, even both are outcome oriented. NLP is
Hmm.
outcome oriented, and coaching is outcome oriented. Coaching is a
Correct.
broader process. So if I'm doing coaching, that's a broader process. Therapy is also a broad process. In therapy, we go into childhood. In coaching, we don't go into the past, right?
Correct.
But the tool, suppose for example, if someone has a goal, etc., and if I want to take them through a visualization tool, the
Hmm.
NLP is, there are many visualization tools, but if I take the client through a visualization tool, the client will go back thinking that he had a very deep experience rather than just engage the rational mind, right?
Hmm.
Because it's a so these tools kind of deepen the experience of a person. And sometimes they feel that sometimes like for example, when we do metaphor work, sometimes
Hmm.
you get some insight which rational mind cannot probably come up with.
Hmm.
So these NLP tools kind of deepen the experience, but they are just tools. They are not the coaching process. So coaching is the broader process, and nowhere we advise in NLP just that it's a way of visualization. You can say it's a collection of visualization techniques which are at sensory level, which kind of goes a little deeper and not very intellectual type of visualization. So these tools can definitely be brought in these broader processes to deepen the
So,
experience.
so you can actually bring in these tools within a coaching framework without diluting the competency framework of, say, ICF with all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
stringent
yeah.
ethics.
Yeah.
You can.
Uh, yeah. So like empty chair exercise, which is from Gestalt, which NLP has also taken, which is perceptual position, like three
Yes.
different position, which is a
Yes.
tool that we use. It's just a tool that it's not a coaching process. It's just to
Correct.
make the person think in three different dimension or two different dimensions. Okay, on the wall, fly on the wall, we say.
Correct.
So that is brought in the coaching to deepen the experience. So all the tools are like that only. Just maybe some of them may have a few more steps, but these are just tools to make a person think in different dimensions.
So, for the benefit of listeners, while I personally have been exposed to perceptual positioning during my PCC, and it has been very powerful. Uh, just an example, but what we have to be very careful is that we stay in the realm of asking, partnering, and
Yeah,
co-creating. So
yeah,
as long as we don't dilute the fundamental essence of professional coaching, which are partnering and co-creating and asking instead of telling, I think it can be brought in. Yeah,
yes.
did I
And
get it right?
you got absolutely right. NLP practitioner must do coaching process because they may not appreciate the NLP practitioners. They don't appreciate the value of partnering. They don't. So these are things that only coaching can help us. So I would say if someone is a NLP practitioner, they must do ICF coaching because
Correct.
together the NLP techniques and ICF coaching framework, it's together. It's a very powerful model.
Yeah. So a related question that comes up is if you were an NLP expert already, then you went through a classical ICF coaching certification that we provided. We don't bundle any other NLP or any other thing into professional coach training that we do is, and you can be very frank about this for the benefit of the viewers, is bundling a good opportunity, or for someone who's exposed to NLP or other techniques, a pure ICF competency focused framework is better? What would benefit them to maximize your potential as a practitioner?
Yeah. So when we are learning, I think we should stay pure. So ICF coaching should not be combined with anything else. It should be learned as classical. This thing that is the best way to learn ICF, and NLP also you should just learn from a NLP perspective. But
Correct.
bringing this together in a synergistic way is someone with a little experience can do that. But at the
Correct.
learning stage, it is nice to learn pure classic ICF coaching. Yeah, with the way you do it, I think Regal is doing. I think I'm fortunate to do with Regal. I think it was kind of a life transforming experience because my mind opened up, and I was like, I didn't know the value of partnering and all. So it was a very good experience. I think you should just stay the same way. But a person once he has done that can also do other techniques to
Correct.
deepen the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But the
Sure.
foundation is ICF coaching for everything. That
Yeah.
is that one has to master it. On top of it, you add a couple of tools, techniques, but
Correct.
the foundation is ICF framework.
Sure. Thank you for the clarification. So, for the benefit of viewers, Manoj's book on NLP is Life Transforming Power of NLP. It's a fascinating area to learn, and he's also a trainer. Do look up. Mm, A quick reference to this book, The Miracle of Acceptance, for the benefit of viewers, Manoj. Acceptance at a personal level, me accepting me as I am, only then I can accept my client as they are. Yeah, and that's at the core of partnering and co-creating. So give me one magic pill from this book, just to trigger an interest in the in the mind of the listeners about
Yeah, yeah,
acceptance.
yeah. So See, a lot of us, we because we have been in childhood compared, somebody is good, somebody is bad. But if you just study a single cell, there are mitochondria and there are so many other different parts and millions of things are happening in a single cell. The intelligence that is running that, and there are trillions of cells in our body, and they all come together, work together. It's a miracle. If you listen to neuroscientists, they keep using the word miracle. The way one neuron communicates to another neuron. I mean, the intelligence that we have within us, uh, I mean, even a donkey or a rabbit or a cockroach wouldn't underestimate themselves, wouldn't have low self-esteem. None of the childrens, when they are born, they come with low self-esteem, right? We need to value ourselves. We need to value life. We need to. I mean, we don't say an elephant is got low self-esteem, right? We
Yeah.
value every elephant. So similarly, life needs to be valued. We need to be able to accept ourselves. The whole book is on acceptance. And when we accept ourselves, even little things like a blade of grass or maybe a sunset or maybe just drinking water is like a miracle, right? That's the power of acceptance. It is non-acceptance of self that creates all kinds of conflict with ourselves and with the people around us and with the world around us. So self-acceptance is, I'm using the word acceptance, but maybe self-appreciation or
Yeah.
valuing self or self-worth is the core of who we are. We need to value life. Yeah, that's the book about. It's around self-acceptance.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for that. No, the essence of the book, and it's a fascinating read. I'm showing this because every client that we work with, whether it is coaching, NLP, therapy, counseling, the root cause is acceptance. That's why this becomes very important work. And thank you for this. Uh, one last question before we let you go, Manoj, and this is very important for the professional coaches for sure, both aspiring and practicing. You're one of our coaches who started billing when you were just on your ACC journey. So, what advice you have for aspiring coaches on their ACC PCC journey to also start? I don't know if the word is right, monetizing, but start billing. Simple.
Yeah.
What is your advice for them?
Yeah, so I've been marketing for last 20 years for corporate training. And of course, because of that experience, maybe things are a little easier. But the funda of marketing is you need to speak to the right person. So the decision maker. So, for example, there is a company here, and they are into diagnostic products, medical diagnostic products. I spoke to the owner, and I asked him, I'm there to provide coaching to him, but he was not okay to take me as a coach. But he gave one of his IT head, and he said, "You can coach him, the IT head," and I did the coaching exercise. Right? There's a startup. Tamil Nadu government is doing a lot of to create startup. There's a startup TN. There's a lot of meeting happens. I go to those startup founders and say that coaching can help you a lot. It can mean a lot between success and failure. So I offer my services without any hesitation, without any kind of self doubt. I offer to the top person, to the decision maker, if I can reach
Yeah,
the top person. Not every time I'm successful in the companies like
absolutely.
Bosch, etc. Even to reach a middle level is like a big thing. So I offer confidently without any kind of hesitation, and sometimes it clicks. Majority of the time it doesn't.
Yeah,
But
very true.
the amount of time it clicks is so I have to talk to them either on phone or go and meet them in person, and then only it clicks.
Yeah. So, number one, talk to the right person. Number two, go to these events like startup and others, and again, keep talking about the services and speak about them confidently. And just keeping, my advice also to our mentees is that if you face one rejection, talk to 10 more leads, 10 more prospects. Yeah, which is what I also pick up from what you said. We are almost at the top of the time. Any closing thoughts, about the confluence of NLP and coaching before we say bye
So
for the day?
I'm happy that both have some kind of have come together, and I feel the ICF framework is the holy framework. I mean, it's a foundation. It's how the conversation needs to be structured is the ICF way. Whenever I feel a client can go through some visualization technique or something, I just bring NLP. But NLP need not be there. I think ICF
Correct.
coaching framework is an excellent framework for conversation. Only where a person needs to have a little deeper experience, I bring in some NLP tools.
Thank you for coming in and sharing your perspectives on NLP and coaching. We hope to get you back sometime in the near future and continue the conversation. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Subash. Learned so much from you, and thank you so much. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Same here. Thank you very much. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining.